Hello Beanies and welcome back. It's been a while, so I don't know, this feels really weird to finally do again, but it's so nice to post another video. And in this video, as you could tell by the title, it's going to be about how to improve your art from starting with something as little as just being able to draw stick figures or just having more experience and you just want to improve. So I hope this video is helpful, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can become a beanie and never miss a video. Now let's hop into it. To anyone who's like, what are you talking about? Like, Jay, do you realize that I literally cannot draw right? Like, just completely don't say that. Like they say, if you look in a mirror every day and tell yourself that you are beautiful and talk about how positive things about yourself, you will have positive things come out. You will boost your confidence, because words do mean everything. By saying I can't do something, you're basically saying that I am not going to try because I feel like I really can't do this, so therefore I'm just not going to worry about it at all and just push it aside and not do it. By saying, even by changing the words up a little bit and saying I can't do this yet, which I thank my third grade teacher for, you're basically just saying that I'm not there yet, but in the future hopefully I will be there. So looking at your drawings and seeing that, oh my gosh, I can only draw stick figures, it's okay, because I could only draw stick figures at first too. And now look at me, I'm drawing amazing things and selling some of my art, and I always get compliments on it. If you want to be like that too, you gotta first just know that first of all you need practice, and second of all that not everything comes easy. I mean, you can work day and night on something and improve, versus if you just pick up something and the first thing you do is draw like a car and you're like, I don't know how to draw cars, so I obviously suck. No, you need to put in the work and you need to be disciplined, because if you want something really bad, then you will put in the work to make sure that you can get better at it. The first thing that you really want to do, besides talking positively and making sure you have a positive outlook on your art, you want to make sure that you are putting in the practice first of all, but you need to actually know how to practice. Like, people can say that they studied on an assignment or worked really hard on something, but did you do it right? There's a wrong way to study, there's a right way to study and actually retain the information, and there's a right way to study art. Because if you're just doing the wrong things and you're just really going to confuse yourself in the long run, or you will learn but it'll take way longer to actually remember the steps and have everything down, versus if you actually study art the right way and then get better at something. So what I mean by this is, if you really want to improve on getting better at eyes, take it one step at a time. Don't just hop straight into it and say, I'm going to draw this fantastic, amazing, realistic looking eye when you just came out of stick figure university, okay? You can't just graduate and hop straight into something like that. That's going to take time to build up to. When you first start a game, you start on level 1. You don't start at level 100 because you're not there yet. So you need to take it step by step and take it slowly. Yes, things like this take time and you need the patience for it, but I'm not a very patient person, and I was able to kind of force myself to get better at this. Because if you really love something, you will want to do the best you can to get better at it. So when you're drawing, you want to make sure that you are practicing the right things. And let's say eyes, for example. You find somebody that you really like, first of all. Like, I like to find YouTubers and people on Pinterest that I really like, and just find art styles that I strive to make my art look like, and then you can kind of go from there. So yes, you have to do a little bit of homework, but I think this part is fun. Just finding somebody that you really like and then trying to make your art look more like theirs. You're not trying to copy, but just take things from their art that you like and then implement them into your art. So when you're drawing, you want to have a specific art style that you are going for, and not just drawing and not even knowing what you're doing and what you're even aiming for. You want to have goals and different skills that you strive to have, so that in the end you know exactly what you want. When you are drawing, you want to make sure that you are using references. A lot of people will tell you not to use a reference, or that your drawing isn't really your drawing if you use a reference, but completely ignore them. You need to be able to look at a drawing and then take from it what you need to take from it. Like, shape language is really important, so practice seeing different shapes. Like, as I'm drawing here, you can tell, I start with a circle and then work from there and add all the different shapes that go into it. Making the eyes, I draw 3 different circles right next to each other to help measure the distance between the eyes and figure out how big I want them to be. Either way, shapes are everywhere. Even if you have a weird object and you're like, how is this a shape? You gotta break it down, because it'll help you in the long run to be able to look at different pictures and then take from it what you need to take from it to put together your drawing. So remember that if you're starting out just drawing stick figures, you can kind of just draw that off the top of your head. I mean, if you have to look at a reference to draw a stick figure, I don't know what to tell you, but basically you're not looking at references doing that, so you just do it off the top of your head and you're like, oh, this isn't even that good. But to practice, you want to make sure that you're looking at other pictures that you want your art to hopefully look like in the future, and then base your art off of those. I already mentioned stylization earlier, but I just want to break that down again and just kind of say that when you're looking at different references, you want to say oh, I follow Sam Does Arts or something. I don't know. He's awesome. So you look at his paintings and you're like, oh, I really like the way he draws eyes or the way he draws hair. So take what you want from those pictures and draw what you want to draw. So you're like, okay, I want my character's eyes to look like this, so I'm gonna strive to make them look like this. Now when you're doing that, that's kind of like what I said earlier. You want to make sure that you know shape language and you can break down people's art into shapes, so it becomes more simple for you to be able to do, because without shapes, I mean, we're nothing. So just break it down, and then it'll hopefully help you to be able to kind of have what is it called? Guidelines that will be underneath. There's a blueprint to every house. So you want to make sure that you build a strong foundation of shapes so that you can draw your picture. Another tip is to stay consistent. When I draw, I usually draw honestly, I don't even have a set time frame of how much I draw. It's just I draw a lot through the day, especially through the school day. I'm sketching on my pages, and I shouldn't be daydreaming, but just daydreaming and just drawing. I draw almost every class maybe, and it just gives me practice. I don't even realize, even if they're small doodles, it's still training your hands to get used to drawing circles and drawing squares and lines, once you first draw a straight line, it may not look that good. It may look squiggly and stuff, but I know that one thing I was not looking to improve on, but improved on without realizing, is drawing circles and drawing straight lines. I can do cross hatching and just hatching and not have like any issues. And I'm like, wow, that's a really straight line. And drawing like more circular circles that aren't all like bubbly and stuff and bumpy. It's just things that you would have not expected to improve on, you will improve on, because you're kind of training your muscles to have muscle memory for things that you don't even realize. Like drawing eyes for me is more muscle memory because that's something I draw all the time, you know? So you can draw straighter lines and more round circles, and it's all just practice. And you gotta stay consistent. So even if you're just drawing once a week, you gotta like figure out, okay, so what goal am I trying to set by what time? Because a week isn't that bad, but I mean, I'm talking as somebody who draws like maybe 6 days out of a week or something like that, and it just really depends on what goal you're striving for. If you're striving to have more of a realistic art style, you may want to draw for longer periods of time of the day, more consistently, because you want to reach your goal. Because with something like that, you're retaining a lot of information at once, because it's realistic art, it's harder to do. So you want to be more consistent with it, because the more consistent you are with it, the more often you do it, the more likely you will be to remembering what you learned. So if you're trying to draw more like me, maybe you may want to draw maybe an hour, maybe 5 times a week, so that you can reach the goals that you want to reach. So just make sure that you're staying consistent, because if you stop drawing for like a couple weeks and pick it back up again, even I have learned that I forget some of the things that I have taught myself. So you want to stay consistent. So just by looking at this drawing, you can kind of see the other ones on the side, but ignore these for now, okay? So these drawings are ones that took me a long time to do, but by just starting at like drawing stick figures and stuff, you can get here. You just have to put in the work and use the tips that I gave you in this video to hopefully reach this goal of trying to draw like this. Now, thank you again so much for watching this video. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I'm so excited. I'm trying not to be like crazy here, but I'm really excited because I haven't really been posting as consistently recently with like moving and doing all this other stuff, and just having to delete videos constantly because it's like, oh, it got copyrighted or something like that. It's been frustrating. It's a lot harder than I was expecting it to be. Even with editing, it takes like forever, but thank you for sticking with me and even continuing to grow. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said in the beginning, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're new here, please make sure that you hit the notification bell so you can become a beanie. I love you guys so much, and thanks for tuning in. And I hope to post again on Friday. I love you guys. Bye.